Have you ever wondered why mules can't have babies? Or why they look like a donkey, but also like a horse? Today we're going to solve a mystery that blends science, history, and even genetics. Stay with us until the end of the video to discover what these two incredible animals do differently, and their differences. And don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our magnificent beauties from the animal world. And now, here we go, the donkey. That tireless animal with big ears, a noble gaze, and a steady stride that has accompanied humankind for millennia. Originating from the African wild ass, the domesticated donkey, Equus africanus asinus, is not a small horse. It has its own story, its own species, and its stubborn reputation is, in reality, a form of prudence. Donkeys think before they act. A shaky bridge? The donkey doesn't rush in. It evaluates first. Now let's step into hybrid territory. The mule. A creature that doesn't exist on its own in the wild. It's the result of crossing a male donkey with a mare. That is, female horse. And the outcome? A true biological wonder. The strength of a horse. The endurance of a donkey. And a tolerance to heat, fatigue, and pain that feels almost superhuman. But pay attention. There's also the hinny, which is the opposite cross. Male horse plus female donkey. Although less common, hinnies do exist. And they're sterile as well. At first glance, they can look alike. But there are details that give them away. Let's start with the ears. The mule inherits from its donkey father those long, expressive ears that stand up like attentive antennas. They're larger than a horse's, but a touch more refined than a pure donkey's. And it's not just about looks. Those big ears help regulate heat and pick up sounds from far away. Its body, on the other hand, takes after its mother, the mare. It's more muscular, taller, and built with a strong back. The mule has a broad chest, long limbs, and a firmer, more athletic frame than the donkey. If the donkey looks compact and rugged, the mule is like an off-roader. Sleeker, yet just as tough. The tail reveals a lot too. A donkey's tail ends in a small tuft, like a little brush at the tip of a stick. By contrast, the mule inherits the horse-style brush tail, long, with hair covering the entire bone and swaying elegantly as it walks. Yes, a subtle detail, but a revealing one. And size, that's where the difference really stands out. The mule is usually larger than an ordinary donkey, easily reaching the size of a medium horse. But despite its strength, it doesn't have the slender grace of a thoroughbred. It moves with firmness, with a sure-footed stride, as if every step carried weight, yet never hesitated. Oh, and listen to this. The donkey, as you well know, brays. That harsh, loud, slightly comical sound we all recognize instantly. But the mule? Its voice is a kind of genetic remix. Literally. It isn't a pure bray like its donkey father, nor an elegant neigh, like its mare mother. What it lets out is something in between. A unique sound, half raspy, half melodic, as if it were trying to decide who it resembles more every time it opens its mouth. And now, the big question. Why can't mules have babies? The answer lies in their DNA. Horses have 64 chromosomes. Donkeys have 62. When they're crossed, the mule inherits 63 chromosomes. And here's the problem. During reproduction, the body has to split its chromosomes into 2 equal sets, a process called meiosis. But with an odd number like 63, that just isn't possible. Sex cells can't form properly, and without viable eggs, or functional sperm, there can be no reproduction. That's why we say the mule is sterile. Even though it's alive, strong, and completely functional. Its lineage ends there. But like everything in life, there are exceptions. Fewer than 70 cases have been documented worldwide in which a female mule gave birth. Yes, a mule mother. How did it happen? This phenomenon has been reported in countries such as China, Morocco, Colombia, and the United States, in both rural and scientific contexts. One of the best-known cases was a mule in China in 2007 that gave birth to a healthy foal. This event was verified through genetic analyses to rule out any misidentification of the species. How is this possible? Researchers believe that, in extremely rare cases, a functional egg can be produced and fertilized if there is partial genetic compatibility. It's such an infrequent event that many scientists call it a genetic miracle, or a rare reproductive anomaly. Science still doesn't fully understand how it happens, and genetic studies are ongoing, because these fertile mules represent an exceptional window into hybrid genetics. From ancient Egypt to the mines of South America, across the trails of the Andes and the routes of war. Mules have been loyal, strong, and courageous companions. Napoleon used mules in his campaigns. Simón Bolívar did too. And even today, in mountainous regions around the world, they're irreplaceable. Because they endure more than a horse, eat less than a truck, and don't scare easily. Did you know there are miniature donkeys? About the size of a medium dog? Yes, like a Labrador or a large bulldog. These tiny donkeys, known as miniature or Mediterranean donkeys, aren't just adorable. They're also incredibly social, intelligent, and affectionate. In many countries, they're even bred as companion animals. Some live in homes as if they were exotic pets. And check this out. In countries like Italy, Spain, or Greece, the donkey isn't just a beast of burden. It's a cultural symbol. In rural regions, its image is tied to history, farm work, and local identity. In fact, in some areas, traditional festivals are held where donkeys parade, are honored, and are even sung to. Yes, they literally form part of the cultural heritage. And let's not forget about mules. Because even if they can't reproduce, wow, do they leave their mark. At agricultural fairs across Latin America, the United States, and Europe, special competitions are held for mules, where their intelligence, obedience, speed, and ability to react under pressure are rewarded. Some trials seem straight out of military training, dodging obstacles, following complex commands, or responding to sudden stimuli. And mules pull them off with surgical precision. Who said only horses were elegant, or that donkeys were clumsy? These animals have history, charisma, and talent to spare, in a world that often looks down on what's hybrid or different. The mule reminds us that sometimes the best of two worlds can live in a single being. So the next time you see a donkey, or a mule climbing a hill with a slow but steady stride, you'll know that behind those hooves lie thousands of years of evolution, natural engineering, and life lessons. Did you enjoy everything we learned about donkeys and mules? Then just wait. There are animals with even more surprising secrets waiting to be discovered. Subscribe, hit like, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. See you in the next animal adventure. Until next time.